Hey everyone, welcome. On this channel, we're going to get into an advanced look at the story Disastrous Necromancer. Come with me as we unravel the journey of Lin Moyu, from his beginnings to him becoming a force to be reckoned with in a mysterious new world. If this story sounds like something you'll enjoy, please like, share, and comment. Your support helps us keep providing these in-depth looks into the world of Disastrous Necromancer. Now let's continue.
This battle was extremely intense. Lin Qingfei and Zhuang Bai gave it their all, using every desperate measure they had. With the experience from previous battles, the Guardian Beast was gradually being pushed back. The Guardian Beast summoned reinforcements, but they were all blocked by Chu Shang and the other two. The five of them split into two groups, working together seamlessly. Seeing victory in sight, Lin Qingfei's tense expression began to relax. Zhuang Bai smiled and said, "We should be able to make it in time." Lin Qingfei nodded in agreement. Suddenly, a muffled sound was heard, followed by Shui Zilin's angry shout, "Despicable!" Lin Qingfei and Zhuang Bai immediately realized something was wrong. Someone had ambushed them. Contestants number 7 and number 12 from Divine City had arrived unnoticed and launched a surprise attack on Chu Shang. Although they didn't seriously injure Chu Shang, they did weaken his combat power. Originally, the three of them were already under significant pressure blocking the reinforcements. Now, with the ambush, the pressure increased dramatically. Shui Zilin reacted quickly, and she and Shui Xing filled the gap left by Chu Shang. Shui Xing also quickly cast a spell to heal Chu Shang. Chu Shang stabilized himself and angrily shouted at the two, "What are you two trying to do?" The two didn't say anything. Shui Zilin said, "They're here to drag us down." Chu Shang wasn't stupid and grinned, "You two want to drag us down with you." One of them said softly, "Sorry, fellow disciples, we mean no offense." They had no hope left. Once eliminated, their ranking wouldn't be great, so they decided to drag others down with them, hoping to improve their own ranking slightly. After all, the rules didn't prohibit such actions. Lin Qingfei and Zhuang Bai exchanged glances and quickly understood each other's thoughts. The situation was already difficult, and with these two causing trouble, getting the last token was impossible. Lin Qingfei and Zhuang Bai were not indecisive people and made a decision immediately. Zhuang Bai shouted, "Attack!" Lin Qingfei turned and, with a sword, transformed into a dragon, charging at the two from Divine City. Zhuang Bai also ignored the Guardian Beast and attacked the two. Lin Qingfei's domain instantly enveloped the two, and a green dragon descended from the sky, roaring angrily and biting at them. Following the dragon was Lin Qingfei's fierce sword energy, filled with killing intent. The two were shocked and quickly retreated, not daring to confront Lin Qingfei. Zhuang Bai was even faster, blocking their retreat with his sword. Spell, Infinite Sword Rain. Flying swords rained down, enveloping the two. The sharp swords shattered their defenses, and Lin Qingfei's killing intent followed. The two were terrified, realizing they had stirred up a hornet's nest. One of them took out a shield and activated it. 8 shields appeared out of thin air, blocking Lin Qingfei's attack. The green dragon collided with the shields, causing a loud explosion, and the shields shattered. The two were sent flying, screaming in pain. "Despicable scoundrels, die!" Chu Shang roared, charging at them with his giant battle blade. The blade grew to 10,000 meters, slashing down like a mountain. The two, already injured by Lin Qingfei, were too scared to face Chu Shang's attack. One of them took out a wooden plank, which transformed into a coffin, enclosing them. The coffin turned into a stream of light, flying away. "Don't think you can escape." Chu Shang's blade changed direction, slashing at the coffin. The coffin cracked but managed to escape, disappearing in an instant. A red light flashed in the sky, and Shui Zilin commanded her little red spirit to chase after them, asking, "Should we pursue?" Lin Qingfei shook her head, "It's pointless." As she spoke, she waved her sword, and a green dragon emerged, forming a protective barrier around them. The barrier wasn't strong but could hold for a few seconds. Zhuang Bai said, "No need to chase. Let's return to the previous stone tablet." Chu Shang asked, "What about here? We still need one more token." Zhuang Bai replied, "It's too late here. We have to give up." The earlier disturbance, though only 2 or 3 minutes, allowed the Guardian Beast to heal significantly. This meant they would waste at least another half hour. In that time, at least 2 more waves of regular enemies would appear, and the Guardian Beast would summon another batch of reinforcements. Their speed in eliminating enemies couldn't keep up with the rate of their appearance, making it futile. Zhuang Bai decisively said, "Let's stick to our plan." Lin Qingfei knew what Zhuang Bai meant and protested, "I didn't agree." Zhuang Bai shook his head, "Today, you must listen to me. Let's go." With that, Zhuang Bai flew out of the barrier, heading into the distance. Chu Shang, still confused about their conversation, trusted Zhuang Bai and followed, urging the others, hurry up. Lin Qingfei hesitated but eventually followed. Shui Xilin and Shui Xing also quickly followed. The guardian beast chased for a while but eventually returned to its stone tablet and disappeared after 10 minutes. Zhuang Bai led the group back to the previous stone tablet and handed a token to Chu Shang. You go first. Chu Shang instinctively took the token but didn't activate it immediately, asking, what are you planning? Zhuang Bai didn't explain, don't waste time, hurry. Chu Shang trusted Zhuang Bai and activated the token and stone tablet. In the next second, he was transported away. Contestant number 5 has advanced. Asterisk. Seeing Chu Shang advance, Zhuang Bai handed another token to Shui Xing, you're next. Without further explanation, he flew to another stone tablet. The others realized what Zhuang Bai was doing. They had 5 people but only 4 tokens, meaning one had to stay behind and be eliminated. Zhuang Bai chose to sacrifice himself for the others. Lin Qingfei chased after him, why not try again? Zhuang Bai smiled, no need. There's no chance. If we try, we'll all be eliminated. Without the interference from the 2 from Divine City, they could have gotten the 5th token. But the ambush cost them at least half an hour, deciding their fate. Lin Qingfei knew Zhuang Bai was right and didn't know what to say. Zhuang Bai was calm, do well in the next stage and aim for second place. The first place was Lin Moyu's, no one could compete with him. Getting second would be the best result. Lin Qingfei looked deeply at Zhuang Bai but said nothing. More enemies appeared as they rushed to the stone tablet, with the frequency and speed of their appearance increasing. Lin Qingfei, filled with anger, transformed into a green dragon and charged, creating a path. Zhuang Bai followed, letting her vent her frustration. They returned to the stone tablet and sent Shui Xing and Shui Xilin away. Finally, Zhuang Bai and Lin Qingfei reached the last stone tablet, with thousands of enemies behind them. Time was running out. Zhuang Bai quickly said, good luck. Lin Qingfei hesitated for a second before saying, let's have a drink after the competition. Zhuang Bai's smile was as bright as the sun, sure, I'll find you then. As stated at the beginning, Zhuang Bai fulfilled his promise. If there were only 4 tokens, he would stay behind. Seeing the approaching enemies, Zhuang Bai knew his fate was to be eliminated next. However, even in elimination, there are levels. Being eliminated early and being eliminated late are different. Zhuang Bai continued to evade, determined to hold out until the end. The frequency of enemy appearances increased, one wave after another. After several hours, enemies appeared every 10 minutes. The 2 from the White Tiger Star domain were finally eliminated, followed by the contestant from the War God Hall. The remaining 2 from Divine City also got eliminated after a brief struggle. Now, only Lin Moyu, who remained motionless, and Zhuang Bai, who was flying around, were left in the arena. Behind Zhuang Bai was a dense mass of enemies, all from the Demon race and the Silver race. He was lucky not to have encountered the Golden Eagle race. If he had, there would be no escape, as the array would simulate the Golden Eagle race's speed, making it impossible for Zhuang Bai to outrun them. While fleeing, Zhuang Bai suddenly saw a white light and then a pure white skeleton general. Its junior brother Lin. He remembered that Lin Moyu hadn't left yet. Unexpectedly, he had stumbled upon Lin Moyu. Zhuang Bai immediately flew towards the skeleton general. The skeleton generals formed a protective circle in the air. When Zhuang Bai arrived, the skeleton generals did not block him but instead opened a path, signaling him to enter. Seeing this as a lifeline, Zhuang Bai sped up and flew through the path. Behind him, white light shone, and powerful sword energy swept through the heavens and earth as the skeleton generals attacked his pursuers. With Lin Moyu's skeleton generals, the numerous enemies seemed insignificant. Zhuang Bai breathed a sigh of relief and, a few seconds later, saw Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was looking up at the sky, seemingly observing something. Zhuang Bai approached and asked, junior brother Lin, what are you doing? Lin Moyu, without changing his posture, softly replied, observing a rune. A rune? Zhuang Bai also looked up but saw nothing but the glowing array. There were indeed many runes in the array, appearing and disappearing, but Zhuang Bai couldn't tell which one Lin Moyu was observing. After a while, Lin Moyu looked away and turned to Zhuang Bai, senior brother Zhuang, why are you alone? Zhuang Bai smiled bitterly, time ran out, and we were 1 token short, so I let them go first. Lin Moyu nodded, senior brother Zhuang, you have a broad mind. Sacrificing his chance to let others advance was a rare quality. Lin Moyu tossed a token to Zhuang Bai, I'll have the skeleton generals guide you. Zhuang Bai was stunned, what about you? Lin Moyu smiled, I can get one whenever I want. I still need to observe the runes. We'll talk later. With that, Lin Moyu turned into a stream of light and flew away, heading to experiment with another stone tablet. Zhuang Bai didn't understand what Lin Moyu was doing, finding his actions profound. A squad of over 100 skeleton generals formed and led Zhuang Bai to the stone tablet. This token was from the first guardian beast Lin Moyu had killed. Since entering the first layer, Lin Moyu had only killed one guardian beast. In other words, Lin Moyu now had no tokens left. Contestant number 3 has advanced. Asterisk. With the announcement of Zhuang Bai's advancement, Lin Moyu was the only one left in the first layer. He continued experimenting with the guardian beasts, repeatedly observing the soul runes. The 4 domain lords were speechless, unable to understand Lin Moyu's actions. Only Xu Laozu understood Lin Moyu's intentions. Xu Laozu murmured, he really plans to drag this out to the last moment, not wasting a single second. In another space within the arena, strong life energy fluctuated. Here, all injuries were rapidly healed, and all energy was replenished. This place had magical powers, allowing even the most exhausted to recover to their peak in just a few minutes. This was the world for those who had advanced, a place for them to rest. Dongfang Zi was the first to arrive, followed by Wei Bowen. Later, Chu Shang and others appeared one by one. Chu Shang and Qing Fei looked displeased because Zhuang Bai had been eliminated. Shui Xilan sighed softly, Senior Brother Zhuang is truly a good person. Qing Fei added, Senior Brother Zhuang's broad mind is unmatched. Chu Shang asked, did old Zhuang say anything afterward? Qing Fei shook her head, nothing much. She silently vowed, I must get second place, for myself and for Zhuang Bai. Time passed slowly. Chu Shang found it odd, by now, junior brother Lin should have arrived. Dongfang Zi chuckled, maybe he won't make it. Chu Shang glared at him, if you can't speak properly, shut up. Dongfang Zi's face darkened, how dare you insult me? He clenched his fists, emitting a rumbling sound. Chu Shang puffed out his chest, looking down at Dongfang Zi, want to fight? Come on, if I make a move, I lose. Fighting here would result in disqualification. Dongfang Zi knew this but found Chu Shang's attitude infuriating. Dongfang Zi gritted his teeth, you think I don't dare? Chu Shang laughed, I bet you don't. People from Divine City are just cowardly and despicable, only good at sneaky tricks. If you want to fight, do it. If not, go clean your teeth and stop barking. Dongfang Zi was furious, his hair standing on end, his chest heaving. Chu Shang stood tall, looking down at him. Shui Xilan turned away, finding Chu Shang's behavior too irritating, even wanting to punch him herself. But she knew Chu Shang was deliberately provoking Dongfang Zi, hoping he would make a move and get disqualified. After a standoff, Dongfang Zi didn't take the bait and stepped back. Chu Shang sneered, coward. Returning, Chu Shang whispered, he didn't fall for it. Shui Xilan rolled her eyes, he's not stupid. He's a minor god, not easily fooled. Chu Shang sighed, what a pity. At that moment, the space fluctuated, and a figure appeared. They turned to see Zhuang Bai, their faces lighting up with joy. Qing Fei's smile was radiant. Zhuang Bai advanced. Chu Shang laughed, old Zhuang, you had a trick up your sleeve. Qing Fei curiously asked, Senior Brother Zhuang, how did you advance? Zhuang Bai explained, I stumbled upon Junior Brother Lin, and he gave me a token. That made sense. Chu Shang asked, where's Junior Brother Lin? Zhuang Bai replied, he said he'd come later. He seems to be observing a rune. A rune? They were puzzled but didn't dwell on it. The important thing was that Zhuang Bai had advanced. Chu Shang was happy, and Qing Fei's smile was brighter than usual, in a great mood. The last batch of enemies appeared. At the same time, Lin Moyu received the final reminder. The first stage arena will close in 10 minutes. Those who have not activated the stone tablet within 10 minutes will be eliminated. Asterisk. This reminder was actually meant for Lin Moyu alone, as he was the only one left in the first layer. Upon receiving the message, Lin Moyu muttered to himself, it's about time to leave. He had observed the soul fire rune over and over again and had gained a fair understanding of it. Although it wasn't systematic, he had made some progress. To gain further insights, he would need to match it with his own strength and realm. The level of the soul fire rune was extremely high. Among all the runes Lin Moyu had seen, only a few could compare. Lin Moyu's knowledge wasn't shallow, he had seen many high-level runes throughout his cultivation journey. One was the Origin rune, which had now become his 2 origin spells. The level of the Origin rune was undoubtedly very high, originating from the primordial bird. Another was the Great World rune, seen through a mysterious black hole during the sublimation of his spells. Outside the Great World rune, there were some special runes, which were also of very high levels. According to Lin Moyu's understanding, these runes likely represented the first tier of laws. Below them, Lin Moyu had seen many runes, all of which represented some kind of law without exception. Finally, there was the Great World rune, the supreme existence of the entire Great World, pursued by countless supreme beings. To reach the true peak of the Great World, One must come into contact with, understand, and master the Great World Rune. There was even a legend that whoever could master the Great World Rune could become the master of the Great World. However, no one had ever achieved this in billions of years. The Soulfire Rune before him, although its exact level couldn't be determined, gave Lin Moyu a feeling that it might be second only to the Great World Rune. It wouldn't be weaker than the Origin Rune or the first-tier Law Runes. To thoroughly understand it would require years, not something that could be achieved overnight. While studying the Soulfire Rune, what surprised Lin Moyu the most was a strange sense of familiarity. It was as if he had seen the Soulfire Rune somewhere before. But this familiarity was so vague and elusive that he couldn't grasp its source. Lin Moyu could only suppress this thought deep in his heart. With 10 minutes left, Lin Moyu decided not to delay any longer. For the last time, he teased the stone tablet and summoned the guardian beast. He observed the Soulfire Rune one last time. After a few minutes, the guardian beast was already fighting fiercely with the skeleton generals. Lin Moyu casually pointed, and the skeletal hell appeared, enveloping the guardian beast. The guardian beast collapsed in an instant, and then a light fell from the array, and a token floated out of the light. Lin Moyu activated the token and disappeared instantly. Contestant number 1 has advanced. Asterisk. Everyone in the resting space suddenly received this message. The voice of the Human Emperor Network was still clear, reaching their souls. Dongfang Zi's eyes flashed with a sharp light. He still came. Wei Bowen snorted, what a pity. Only he knew what he was pitying. Both of them wished for Lin Moyu to fail, but reality was always harsher than imagination. Lin Moyu's arrival also meant that the first place no longer belonged to them. I knew it, the mere first layer couldn't stop junior brother Lin. Chu Shang's loud voice echoed non-stop. Lin Moyu looked around and realized he was in a unique space filled with rich life laws. He wasn't surprised. The array could create living beings, so a separate space containing life laws was nothing. Lin Moyu nodded slightly to Qing Fei and the others and tossed the violent sword to Zhuang Bai. Qing Fei and Shui Zilin's eyes widened. They recognized the sword as the magical treasure Lin Moyu had obtained after killing the alien leader in the second layer. It was said to be very useful in the second stage of the competition. Lin Moyu giving the sword to Zhuang Bai indicated their good relationship and his confidence in his own strength, as he didn't need the sword's help. Zhuang Bai was stunned. Junior brother Lin, what is this for? Lin Moyu smiled, this is the magical treasure obtained from the second layer. Senior brother Zhuang, you can use a detection spell to see its properties. Zhuang Bai immediately understood what the sword was. Using a detection spell, he learned its function. It could unleash 10 attacks with tenfold power, making it a powerful treasure in the competition. Especially when everyone's strength was similar, tenfold attacks were almost like cheating. Zhuang Bai instinctively wanted to return the sword to Lin Moyu, but before he could speak, Lin Moyu said, this thing is useless to me. Senior brother Zhuang, take it and aim for a good ranking. With 10 opportunities, if used well, Zhuang Bai had a good chance of securing second place. Zhuang Bai understood this but looked at Qing Fei. Earlier, he had said Qing Fei should aim for second place. Qing Fei knew the sword's significance and smiled, Senior brother Zhuang, take second place. Her eyes were full of encouragement, and Zhuang Bai understood her meaning, I'll do my best. Qing Fei smiled brightly. Not far away, Dongfang Zi and Wei Bowen stared at Zhuang Bai and the violent sword. They couldn't believe Lin Moyu had given the treasure to Zhuang Bai. They had given up competing with Lin Moyu for first place and were now aiming for second. If Zhuang Bai had the sword, even second place would be hard to secure, as they didn't know the sword's exact function. Dongfang Zi gritted his teeth, Lin Moyu, what you're doing is inappropriate. Lin Moyu turned to Dongfang Zi, do you have a problem? Dongfang Zi snorted, I think what you're doing violates the rules. Before Lin Moyu could respond, Chu Shang shouted, none of your business. Want to fight? I'll accompany you to the end. Chu Shang puffed out his chest, looking down at Dongfang Zi. Everyone knew Chu Shang was provoking Dongfang Zi, betting he wouldn't dare to fight. Dongfang Zi was furious but didn't dare to act, only snorting heavily and saying no more. As they rested, the arena changed again. The overlapping arenas separated, returning to their original form. In the center of all the arenas, only one remained. The space where Lin Moyu and the others were shattered like a bubble. The space rippled like water, and the scene became blurry. Everyone felt themselves being transported. After a few seconds, the scene became clear again. 5 high platforms, 4 domain lords, and 1 beyond realm expert stood as before, unchanged. The domain lords' expressions were curious, all eyes on Lin Moyu, wondering what he had seen in the first layer. The first stage of the competition is over. Now, the rules for the second stage will be announced. The old man standing on the central high platform spoke with a heavy and solemn voice. Lin Moyu felt an immense pressure, like an invisible giant hand pressing down, making it difficult for everyone to breathe. Dongfang Zi had wanted to say something, but now he couldn't utter a word. The other party was too strong. Just a glance and a breath of aura made his soul tremble incessantly. He could only prick up his ears and listen carefully to the old man's words, as if receiving teachings. Xu Laozu spoke slowly, each word clear, resonant and powerful. Based on the results of the first stage, you have established a preliminary ranking. In the second stage, the matches will be one-on-one based on your rankings from the first stage. The winner advances, the loser is eliminated. Since your realms are similar, the second stage will not limit realms or magical treasures. Except for not using soul attacks or intentionally harming lives, all other restrictions are lifted. The rules for the second stage were surprisingly simple, with no restrictions at all. This would make the matches even more exciting. Among the remaining 10, only Lin Moyu was not a minor god sovereign. With such rules, it could be considered fair. After all, Lin Moyu's strength was evident, and his realm was secondary. He was a freak who couldn't be judged by his realm. Xu Laozu continued, next, the match order will be announced. Number 1 Lin Moyu versus number 13 Shui Xing. Number 2 Qing Fei versus number 5 Chu Shang. Number 3 Dongfang Zi versus number 11 Shui Xilan. Number 4 Zhuang Bai versus number 6 Wei Bowen. Xu Laozu announced the match order, then said, if you have any opinions, you can voice them. I like to hear from the younger generation. These words made Dongfang Zi's heart skip a beat. It sounded familiar, like something the Lin Lao who sent them here had said before. At that time, he had voiced his opinion without understanding the depth and was scolded by Lin Lao, gaining no benefits. Later, he realized it was just a polite remark. They could voice opinions, but they would never be accepted. Such opinions were better left unsaid. Moreover, the old man before them didn't mention Lin Moyu giving Zhuang Bai the sword, indicating that Lin Moyu's actions were permitted. Dongfang Zi had already suffered a loss once and didn't want to suffer another. The water mist around Shui Xing, who was matched against Lin Moyu, rippled. Xu Laozu's gaze swept over everyone. Since no one has any objections, it's settled. The matches will begin in half an hour, with all 4 matches happening simultaneously. Also, take note that these 4 matches will be projected across the entire star domain. As he spoke, he glanced at Lin Moyu, as if this sentence was meant for him. Lin Moyu realized that the Beyond Realm expert meant for him to take it easy and not reveal all his cards. Only Lin Moyu knew that his cards were all killing techniques, which couldn't be revealed in the competition. In the human race star domain, countless people simultaneously received information from the Human Emperor Network. The final round of the 4 star domains competition will begin in half an hour and will be broadcast live across the entire star domain. Asterisk. Everyone can go to the city squares or enter the Human Emperor Network to watch. Asterisk. After a few days of suspended broadcasts, the final round of the 4 star domains competition would resume broadcasting. Countless people rushed into the Human Emperor Network, while those who hadn't reached the God Sovereign realm and couldn't connect to the Human Emperor Network flocked to the city squares. In an instant, countless star systems and life stars, large and small squares, were overcrowded, packed with people. People were everywhere, above and below, almost a 360-degree panoramic view. Outside the actual competition venue, the spectator seats were also full, especially the guests from other races who were given the best seats. The previous matches had shown them the talents of the human race. They realized that the human race was brimming with talents and geniuses. The human race had displayed the prosperity and growth befitting a strong race. The younger generation had not experienced a gap, which was most important. Lin Moyu, in particular, had left a deep impression on everyone. Some were also wondering why the previous matches had suspended the broadcast. What methods did the human race use for the competition? Were there any secrets involved? Now that the final round had resumed, their attention was drawn back. No matter how they guessed, they couldn't possibly guess the true intentions of the human race. That was an experiment on the simulated spirit array. The result was that Lin Moyu turned the tables and used the simulated spirit array as his own experiment subject. The simulated spirit array was one of the most important secrets of the human race, unknown even to the 4 domain lords, let alone outsiders. Half an hour later, the final round officially began, with the 4 matches happening simultaneously. Lin Moyu was transported to a platform, facing Shui Xing from a distance. Lin Moyu politely cupped his fists. Senior Sister Shui, my apologies. Shui Xing's voice came from behind the water mist. Being able to reach the top 8 is already fortunate. She rarely spoke, especially in crowded situations. The more people there were, the less she talked. When facing Lin Moyu alone, she could still say a few words. Lin Moyu smiled. Luck is also a part of strength. Shui Xing didn't say anything further, silently waiting. A minute later, the match officially began. Lin Moyu said, please, waiting for Shui Xing to make the first move. Not only him, but countless people outside were also waiting. This was already the top 4, and those who could make it this far were all experts. A battle between experts would undoubtedly be exciting. Everyone was especially curious about Lin Moyu's match, wondering if he would display any new spells or summons. The water mist around Shui Xing surged violently, as if she was taking a deep breath. A few seconds later, a voice came out, I concede. Everyone was stunned. Shui Xing had actually conceded. Only those who had experienced the second layer wouldn't find it surprising. Against Lin Moyu's strength, there was no need to seek humiliation. Conceding was the right choice. Congratulations to contestant number 1 for winning, asterisk. The Human Emperor Network announced the result and simultaneously controlled the array to transport the two to another platform, waiting for the next round. Once the final round began, the matches would happen one after another without much pause. Shui Xing had conceded this time, but she still had more matches to come. She would compete with the other losers of this round for 5th to 8th place. Lin Moyu's match with Shui Xing ended the fastest, taking less than 5 seconds. Everyone's attention shifted to the other 3 matches. Cheng Fei and Chu Shang clashed with great force, but it was only a show of force. They didn't go all out. Cheng Fei clearly sensed that Chu Shang was somewhat distracted. Cheng Fei smiled, is senior brother Chu worried about junior sister Xylin? Chu Shang didn't hide it, yes, I'm afraid Xylin will be at a disadvantage against Dongfang Zi. Chu Shang was well aware of Dongfang Zi's strength, and Shui Xylin might not be a match for him. Cheng Fei laughed lightly, senior brother Chu worries too much. Junior sister Xylin is quite formidable. Even if she can't defeat Dongfang Zi, she won't suffer any losses. Chu Shang was still worried, that's what you say, but I'm still not at ease. As he spoke, he turned to look at the other platforms, wanting to see the situation, but couldn't see anything. Chu Shang was completely distracted, shouting loudly, I concede. Everyone was stunned again. Another one had conceded on their own. Was the final round just for fun?